Yeah, quick recap if you guys don't know. So over the weekend, there was a assassination attempt on former President Trump when he was at a
Yeah.
rally in, I believe it was Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Again, so much to kind of dissect, but he did
Yes.
survive, luckily. He got hit in the
Yes.
ear, as you can see in the photo here. And
Yes.
actually, you guys, I mean, I'm sure everyone has probably heard about this, and this has been already deemed that as one of the most iconic photos of all time.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, it's like I said, you can't do anything but really respect it, because the way he kind of like he got right back up after they tried to
Yes.
take him out. He did a fist pump. He told people to keep fighting. It was like a I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. He took it like a man. That's the best way I can put it. It's like it was a very, very strong image. I mean, like that image is gonna be there for a while, man. Like that's gonna stay with the public for a while, especially all the Republican supporters. Even people like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not Republican, but when I saw that, I mean, he literally took it like a man. He wasn't, whining and everything else, but he took it like a Jeep for the
So,
most part. So
well, it's funny. I was telling my wife, if I got shot by a bullet, I'm gonna be crying. I don't know if I'm
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
standing right back up and
Yeah, like I said,
you
like most people, like I said, you hit with a bullet, people are ducking and hiding. They try to, but he just said almost like I'm ready, like I'm ready for it. So, um, man, like I said, you can't do nothing but respect it, even if you're not like a Republican, man. I think like a lot that I think with just that alone, he probably won over like a lot of people, but just having but showing like a lot of heart. Um,
Yeah.
now,
So I was, I was just on Twitter, and then I just saw a trending topic. He was shot. He was shot. Like
yeah,
who was shot? And then they was like Trump. It's like, oh my gosh. So immediately turn on the
yeah,
TV, and of course, wall to wall coverage. But yeah, again, it was very close. So I wanted to kind of show everybody.
yeah.
I don't understand how this happened, though. That's the
I agree.
that's
I
a weird
agree.
thing.
It's a little.
You have Secret Service,
Mm,
but so this is a map of the area where the rally was. So if you guys
yes,
see, this is where Trump was on stage, and less than 150 yards away was the shooter.
I
And
agree.
it's
It's
yeah,
very, very suspicious, man. Because first off, it's not like the suspect is some 40-year-old ex-CIA agent guy from the just like a Navy SEAL or something. It's like, I believe it was like a young, maybe like 20-some-year-old youngster or something like that, like a very, very young guy or something like that. So you
yeah.
would think like, he hasn't had any real military training that we know. So it's like, how could he kind of outmaneuver the Secret Service and get to a position where he can actually harm like the president, and no one saw it, no one was paying attention. It just seems very I
Well,
don't know.
the crazy thing is, so he did outmaneuver Secret Service. He did
Yeah.
not outmaneuver the American public, because there were tons and tons of videos of him. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
crazy. First of all, they saw many people, including cops, saw him walking around
Yeah.
the rally hours before with the
Yeah.
rifle. I also saw a story today that said
Yeah.
the cops were chasing him
Yeah.
with the rifle, and I guess they lost him. And then that's when he, I
Okay.
guess, climbed up the ladder, and then
Yeah.
I just, man, I don't understand. But just so many people are like, "There's a guy right there,
Yeah.
top Secret Service, get him! I think he's about to do something,"
Yeah.
and
No, no,
he was
I
able to make the
definitely,
shot.
I definitely agree with you. Like it just, I don't know. Like there's either a failure somewhere, or some people are purposely, have they kind of let this happen. Like like now I know, like I don't want to necessarily go into like the conspiracy route and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, but I just
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like there's a lot of questions, and I just feel like as we get more and more
Question. Yep,
details,
exactly,
this
exactly.
plot is gonna get more and more interesting. We're gonna figure out, they try
Well,
to act
just
like he's a loner and all this stuff.
yeah, just how was the ball dropped? Like
Yeah,
I just
exactly,
don't
exactly.
like. Look, this is very close. This is very close, 150
I
yards.
agree.
Again,
I
if
agree.
if I was Secret Service, I would have had snipers on every single one of these roofs in a 1 mile radius.
I
So
agree.
no one else is going, even up here on this water tower. I would have had snipers everywhere, so they would have no clear shot to the president. Like it's just insanity.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if you noticed a lot of times when I used to like ride the subway and stuff, you'd always see these signs that say, you see something, say something.
Right.
You know, like people trying to spread awareness. You know, we always have all these random violent, attacks throughout the country. You would think by now, if you see anybody walking around with a weapon, that quickly, like the authorities would jump on that person. But in this case, like you said, multiple people saw it. They just let them kind of go by. The few cops that saw them, they kind of let them just get away, and no one kind of alerted the president, Secret Service. It's just very weird. So
and again, I read that they did alert. Again, I've been seeing videos on TikTok, Instagram. They did alert the Secret Service. It's just, I don't know if they were distracted, but but again, thank God,
I agree. Thank God. Like we don't want nothing to happen.
Survived. Unfortunately, there was a fatality.
That's very sad.
A heroic dad who was saving his wife and kid. He did ended up passing away. I believe 2 other people are in the hospital. But yeah, man, it was great. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. Give an investigation. Why did this happen? But more importantly, how can we make sure that this never happens again?
No, I agree. I definitely agree.
Biden, Trump, any other presidential candidate.
I agree.
This should not be allowed.
I agree. And to add that, like you said, as a lot of people have kind of pointed out, I really feel like some of the networks with a lot of the negative campaigning towards Trump and trying to make him into this almost like the Antichrist type thing. All that did was kind of fuel more of that and have people feeling like, that this election really is like the last election we'll ever have. So it's like almost like it can only stir up a certain crowd of people. And in this case, from what I heard, the guy was kind of a loner. So only thing I can speculate is he thought he was going to be some type of hero by doing this or something, but as he turns out, he's pretty much a monster. But yeah, man, I just kind of feel like all this is going to do now is just kind of, for the most part, kind of help Trump's campaign. Because what's bigger than like either being a martyr or some type of victim of like the state? Because he's always talked about fake news and they're out to get me, and this just kind of adds more to that. You know what I mean? So just like, and for them to want, and some people now with all the conspiracy stuff, they might even speculate that maybe Joe Biden has something to do with this. So it just seems like it could do nothing but help Trump, in my opinion. This situation just pretty much has boosted his campaign for the most part. What do you think? What do you think?
No, I definitely think that this is going to help his election.
Okay.
And I think it's pretty much game over. Actually, right before we went on air, craziness. So Elon Musk actually just announced that he's going to donate $45 million a month for the next 4 months to Trump's campaign, specifically to help out with mail-in ballots.
Wow.
So last time around, the Democrats really won because all of those mail-in ballots that came in way ahead of time. So the Republicans, they weren't really focused on that, but this time around it's like, let's make they need to make sure if they do want to have a chance to win, they do need to also do those mail-in ballots. And looks like Elon's gonna donate almost $200 million to
wow, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. But but now with photos like this and stuff, it should be very easy for him to do advertising and make new commercials and so forth. And even now, I believe Biden was saying that they're going to stop making commercials towards Trump, saying all this stuff again. Like,
the negative commercials.
Biden kind of try to encourage people to tone down on like all the rhetoric towards Trump, which is again, it's just going to help Trump even more. But I understand on his end, he also doesn't want to seem like he had anything to do with it or he encouraged this kind of behavior, that kind of thing. But it's a very unfortunate situation, but at the end of the day, like I said, I think it's just going to help Trump in the end.
Yeah.
But what